Namaskar, everybody. A very good morning to you all. Today's class is especially for class 10. We will be taking the first chapter from your literature book. I know you don't have your English textbook with you, so we will be sending you, taking a photocopy, and then we will be sending it through your WhatsApp number. Whenever you get time, open that one, take it and read. Reading is very important to understand English, so don't waste your time. I'll be just going through. I know you don't have a textbook with you, so I'll be just reading it. Listen carefully, and I'll be teaching only the first part today. I'll explain the vocabulary, that is the meanings of some of the difficult words that you don't know, and some things I'll be writing on the blackboard. You can copy it down in your notebook. So first of all, what you're going to see is a story. The title of the story is A Letter to God. So what do you mean by title? Title means the name of the story or the poem, and it is written by G.I. Freitas. So the story is written by this person. We call him as the author. So what is the title of the story? Title of the story is A Letter to God. And who is the author? In case it's a poem, we call him as a poet. So he has written a story, and the author is G.I. Freitas. And what is the title of the story? A Letter to God. I'll be reading slowly, and some of the hard words I'll be explaining to you. So let me take you through to the first chapter, A Letter to God. The house, the only one in the entire valley and on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn, dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So, what does it mean? The first paragraph tells you about the house. The house, the only one in the entire valley. What do you mean by a valley? Valley is the place, the plain between two mountains. You might have studied in social studies. If this is the mountain, so the river will flow here, and this area is called as a valley. If the valley is narrow, in social studies you might have learned, we call it as a V-shaped valley. If it is a big valley, like by the side of river Ganga, we call it as a U-shaped valley. So it was on the crest. What do you mean by crest? Crest means the top part of a hill. So where was this house located? This house was located in a valley on the crest. That means on the top of a small hill. Low hill means not a very big mountain, it was a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn. So what do you understand here? From that height, this man's house is here on the crest. From this height, you can see everything down there. You can see the corn. Now, what do you mean by corn? Corn is actually American English. In India, we call it as maize. You all might have eaten maize, you might have seen maize. So, what could you see from this height? You could see the rivers, you can see the corns with their flowers, dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. Since most of you are related to agriculture family, you know what is the meaning of harvest. When a crop gets ready for cutting, we call it as harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Downpour, from the word you can understand, downpour means something pouring down. That means it is a rain. And what is a shower? A light rain is called as a shower. So here what is it telling? The author is telling that all it needed was a small rain or a heavy rain for some time, so that the harvest will be better. What is the crop that is harvesting? Corn means maize. Throughout the morning, Lencho, what is the name of the main character? The main character in any story, we call him as a protagonist. So who is the protagonist in this story? That means the main character. Usually we say, when you go to watch a film, we say Salman Khan is the hero. It's not hero. The correct word we have to use is protagonist. And the villain or the enemy, the negative character, we call him as antagonist. So who is the protagonist here? It is a man. What is his job? He is a farmer. A man called Lencho. Lencho has planted all his corn. He is ready to harvest that one, and all he needs now is a small rain, and then he can be happy with his family. So if daily, what was he doing? So today he was doing nothing else other than looking at the northeast sky, because he was expecting the rain to come down. Now let's come to the next paragraph. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. So why does he call it a call as woman there? In olden English, the wives were addressed as woman. So what is he telling to his wife? Now we are really going to get some water. The woman who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. So what do you mean by supper? The food that we have and the late night is called as supper. You all know what we have in the morning, we call it as breakfast. And the afternoon, what we take, it is called as lunch. And the evening, 5 to 7 o'clock, if you have something, it is called dinner. And late night, after 9, when you have, that is called as supper. There are some people who take at 11 o'clock in the morning, neither breakfast nor lunch, and that is called as brunch. So, what is that woman preparing? She is preparing supper, that is late night food or meals. And while she was preparing that one, she told to her husband, yes, God willing. That means, if God helps. The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all. So what were the older boys doing? They were working in the field, and what were the younger ones doing? They were playing outside. The woman, that is the mother of the children, she called them inside. Come for dinner. So she told them to come for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted. What do you mean by predicted? To foretell something, to tell something beforehand, that today evening 3 o'clock it will rain. That is called as prediction. So Lencho had predicted we are going to get some water. So like that, when they were having dinner, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. Huge mountains of cloud. See, you know what is a cloud? Then why are they comparing it with a mountain? That is called as metaphor. I don't know whether you have heard about it or not. When you compare two things, we call it as metaphor without the usage of like or as. For example, when we say maize, just now I told you the American word for maize is corn. Maize is as yellow as gold. Here you might notice we have used as here, that is direct comparison. She is like her brother. In this case also, we have compared directly her and her brother using the word like. So when we use like or as, it is called as simile. And when we don't use like or as, we call it as a metaphor. So here, what is a metaphor? Comparing the clouds to huge mountains. You know, huge means very big. Mountains are big, in that huge mountains. So what does it mean here? The clouds were very big. What kind of clouds? The rain-bearing clouds. So Lencho was telling, like Lencho had predicted, it came here. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, these aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5s. So when it started raining, you might have seen most of the farmers, when the rain comes, they usually go outside and play because they are very happy. They are very happy for their crops. So this man also, Lencho, he went outside and he could feel the rain falling on his face. And what did he say? These are not raindrops. The bigger ones are 10 cents, that means coin, and the smaller ones are 5 cents. You know what is very important for a farmer? Rainwater, rain, water. So when water comes, they are very happy because they know their crop will grow well. Here also, Lencho was very happy, and that's why he is comparing rainwater to money. He says the bigger drops are like 10 cent. What is the meaning of cent here? It is a currency of some of the European, Latin American countries here, where they use pesos, their currency. What do you mean by currency? What is the currency of India? The currency of India is rupee. What is the currency of America? It is dollar. What is the currency of Britain? That is pound. What is the currency of European countries? That's euro. Like that, pesos, and like rupee, what is the unit? That is paise. Like that, for pesos, the unit is cent. So what is he telling? The big drops are like 10 cents and the small drops are like 5 cents. He is comparing that rain to the money that he is going to get. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers, draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boy, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. So what is that one? Satisfied. Satisfied means happy. The farmer is very happy because he got rain. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn. What do you mean by ripe? That is ready. That is ready for consumption. Then ripe corn, and what is the opposite of ripe? It is raw. Draped in a curtain of rain. What do you mean by draped? Draped means covered. Drape means curtain is also called as drape. Here draped in a curtain of rain means what? Covered. When people wear saris, we don't say wear saris, it is actually draping saris. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones. Now what happened? Suddenly winds began to blow. And with that hailstones, I don't know what you call for hail in Hindi. Anyway, hail is small stone-like pieces of ice. When it is very cold, we get snow. When it is not that very cold, we get hail. So hailstones began to fall. For the farmer, the hailstone is the most dangerous enemy because it will destroy all the crops. So along with that wind, hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. These hailstones, they are like small ice particles. When they fell, they were looking really like silver coins. The boys exposing themselves. So when it was raining, the boys were playing. They ran out to collect the frozen pearls because they look like pearls. Boys are boys. They went out to collect the frozen pearls. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. So we have one paragraph more left. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. So what happened? The man was telling to his wife, it is getting bad now. And he was praying, he was hoping that it will go away very quickly, but it did not go. What happens? For an hour, the hail started falling on the house, the valley, the fields, the garden, the hillsides, everywhere. The field was white as if covered with salt. So when you cover with salt, you know it will be whitish. Because of the hailstone, the field was also white. Not a leaf remained on the tree. Because of the hailstone, not a single leaf was on the trees. Everything fell down. The corn was totally destroyed, demolished. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. While the storms had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. the hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. Because of the hailstone, all his corn was destroyed. So he was very sad. He told to his sons, a team of locusts. Locust is a group of insects that always come and harm all the crops. So a group of locusts, if they had come, we would have got something. But this hailstone has destroyed everything. This year we will be hungry because we don't have any money, we don't have any food to eat. And it is explained in the verses, the night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. So that night it was a very sad night because throughout the year they were working in the field. Now they got nothing. Everything was waste. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. So with this first part I will be stopping today's class, and later on I will be sending you some of the questions. Try to remember what I read out now and you can answer the questions. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Stay home.